so this is a live stream. I am going to solve this, and then we'll do a few solves. Okay, now let's start solving. This gets set up on top of this piece. And then I will move you. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna put you up somewhere. Perfect. Now I just have to put you on a cube. My square one. I don't know, 2 square one. Okay, and then let's do this. Wait, tap green front. BR2 U2 F prime L2 R2 F R2 F2 D2 R2 F2 R prime D L2 U prime R prime F L B prime L2 R prime. Okay, and now this is just, should I do blue cross? Okay, orange cross, because I have this piece, I have a pyramid already. 1, 2, 3 star into inserting that into there. This is a very lucky solve, and I am going to fail. I could tell it at this point because I always fail solve. And that's going to get inserted into there. What just happened? I don't know what just happened. So I guess it's 10 seconds. It probably glitched. Okay, we'll just do a different solve. R2, D2, B prime, L2, B, D2, B prime, R2, F, R2, F, L2, U, B, R prime, U, B, R, F prime, L, U. Okay, so I could do this. Okay, we'll do a very weird method. Nah, let's just do C5. Okay, let's just do this insertion into here, into that, into that, into that. Last pair, OLL, and PLL. Okay. Okay. B prime R2, B prime R2. F U2 L2 B2 U2 F2 U2 LB2 U L2 R prime BD L2 R2. Okay. Now this gets inserted into there, and I just messed this up. Oh, X cross, unintentional. So I guess I won't mess this up. Oh, oh, I didn't start the timer. Oh my god. That failed. Okay. Now, B prime R2, B prime R2, F U2, L2, B2, U2, F2, U2 L B2 U L2 R prime B D L2 R2. Okay. I don't know what just happened. That just messed up. That was just like a bunch of extra moves. And then insert that into there. Oh, which needs to be quick. And that and what just happened? That was so dumb of me. But I'm a smart. No, I'm not gonna say that. You already know it. Okay, I'm just gonna cover the time. Okay, you don't see it. U2 F2 D R2 U prime F2 L2 R2 D R2 B2 U2 R B F prime D L R2 U prime R prime B2. Okay, so now this is double pure. Okay, I'm gonna do an L2 D prime. L2 D prime L. Yeah, that's how it works. Into inserting that into there. Into that getting inserted. OL and PLL. And what just happened? I'll just refresh the page. U prime R2D F2U prime B2U B2D L2U L prime D prime B2 R prime D F2 L2 F prime D U2. Okay. And into inserting that into there, into that getting inserted, into that getting inserted. OL, quick, and pure. No, I failed that. Okay. White top, green front. B, R2U, B, L prime, B2, D prime, R, L2U, F2, D prime, B2, L2U prime, D prime, F2, R2, D, B2. Okay, now let's insert this into that getting inserted into there, that getting inserted into there, into that getting inserted, OL, and PLL. Terrible solve. LFL, B2 R prime, L2 D, F prime R prime, U2, L2 D prime, F2, L2 D, F2 R2 U, R2 U, L2. Okay, you see there's these two cross pieces, also these two, and you get this corner on blue, so I'm gonna do blue. It's gonna be, oh, okay. Okay, I think that's what it was. Something weird like that. Insert it into there. Inserting it into there. Very smooth to solve. Okay, and solved. Now, B2, L2, B2, U2, R2, D prime, R2, D prime, L2, R2, B2, D2, R, B, U, F, D prime, U prime, F2, R, U2, F2. Okay, so I have this pair and this pair. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And I want to do a different method. Now insert that into that insertion, into there, into that insertion, insert it into the wrong slot, insert that. Oh, I messed it up. And PLL. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. White top, green front. R prime B2 D2 L prime D2 R F2 L2 B2 R F2 U2 R prime B prime D R F2 R F prime L U R prime. I'm gonna shut my door. And boom. Okay. Now let's continue. Okay, so I see this cross piece, this piece. I could. Okay, got it. Now insert that into there, into that insertion, into there, inserting that into there, inserting that, and zero, and 2 PLS. Now, if you want to see my analytics, I'll show them at 1,000 subscribers, okay? Okay, so this is U prime B2, U, L2, B2, U2, B2, D prime, R2, U prime, F2, U prime, F prime, L prime, D prime, R, D2, B prime, D2, L, F. Okay, so this could be inserted into there, like with this piece. This piece could be inserted first, like that, which sets up an easy pier. And then I want to do the last cross piece because it was easier on this solve to solve the last cross piece after I already start. Oh, CLL and PLL. Okay, you see? White top, green front. U prime B, U prime D2, L prime, U prime F prime D2, R, F2D, R2, F2U, F2U2, L, F2, L2, F2U prime B2D, L2. Okay, so now this could be inserted into there like that, and I'm going to solve 2 F2L pairs, 3 F2L pairs before I even start the course. 4, that was really easy. F2L and PLL. Whoa! Okay, that was the worst. That was the best 17 second solve I ever got. That was a great scramble. It's just like it was the worst solve anybody ever got with a 17-second scramble. That was probably a 5-second scramble. D2, F2, U prime, F2, L2, U2, L2, U, L2, D, L2, R prime, U prime, L prime, B, R prime, B2, U, F prime, D prime. Okay, so blue is amazing, and I see that. So I'm gonna do blue. Okay, so that's gonna insert into there, into that getting inserted, into there, into that insertion, F2OL, into POL. U prime F2 U2 F2 D B2 R2 U B2 U prime B2 U2 B2 U2 L F2 L2 U B D R2 U F prime. Look at this. This is crazy. Who thinks I'm gonna get a sub 10? So, oh yeah, nobody's watching. Okay. Into that insertion. Into there. Into that. That oil. To that pure. Okay, white top, green front. F2U, F2D, L2U prime, R2D, R2U prime, B2, D prime, L prime, D prime, B2, D2, R2F, L2B prime, L2U2. Okay, finally. No, okay. Is there any good cross? I could do that. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, now I made the scramble good. Okay, so I think this is like a Max Park type of solve. Oh well, and the solution of this one was great. I'm gonna compliment myself. That was amazing. Okay, R2 U2 B2 R2D R2D prime F2 L2D B2 U2 R prime F prime R2D prime R2B prime U2 R2 F2. Okay, and I have this one piece. I could do it from this side. L prime F2. But then I'll just do a wide U into that, inserting into, I'm just terrible at wide moves. That wide U was the reason that this was bad. It wasn't because of me, it was because of that wide U move. 19.319. Okay, white top, green front. R prime, U prime, D prime, B2, L2, B2, U prime, B prime, L, U, B2, U2, F2, D, B2, D, R2, U, B2, D2. Okay. So I have this piece. I could do an RU2. Oh, okay. I know this scramble. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be inserted into there, into that insertion, that last here, and then why didn't I do the last cross piece yet? And Ciola and Piola. LUDB R prime L2F B2D L2U2 R2 U2 R prime D2 LF2 B2 D2 F2 R. How do I get this to be a good so I could do that into that insertion, into that, into that, into that, that last pair, that OL, and POL. 19.905. That was a great solve. I'm going to keep on going. U2, F2, R2, F prime, D2, L2, F, R2, B, D2, L2, F prime, R, F prime, D, F prime, U prime, L, U prime, F2, R. Okay. I could do that. Okay, I'm going to do an L move, then a D, then an F2. Then I get 3 cross pieces up. No, I'm going to do an L prime, L, D, F, U2, F. And then that's cross. Okay. So, this is going to be a good solve. I just set that up. Oh, I'll just do it left-handed. And peel. I actually took about a month practicing my T-perms. So, hopefully you find that impressive. D, F prime, L2, U prime, D, L, F2, U, L, D2, B, U2, F prime, L2, U2, F prime, L2, F, D2, B2. Okay, now this is a good scramble. I'm going to move to this side. Could do F white, R2, U2, R2, now into that last piece, and then that last here, and that Ola, and G-perm. G-perms always mess up the solves, that's why I got a bad solve. That's the only reason. Come on, ask questions. U2, F prime, R prime, D2, F prime, B, L prime, U, D2, L2, D2, R, F2, D2, R, F2, L prime, D2, L2, F2. This will be into that, which is just an easy piece, into that insertion, that here, that Ola, and G-perm. That's why I got a 20 again. And then I did like 5 U moves. Who's watching now? Comment. F L D prime L2 F2 D B2 U R2 U prime L2 F2 D prime R2. Okay, this is a good scram. Oh, you stopped watching. D prime U2 R2 F2 L2 B2 R2 D F2 R2 D2 R2 F prime U prime F2 L2 G B D prime R prime F2. Okay, so I have these 2 pieces. This is going to be a good solve. I promise. Oh, I could just do that. Into that insertion, into that insertion, that insertion, that pier, that last pier, and corner twists are impossible. And you can't hurt me over camera. Okay. L2B prime. U2B prime D2 F2 L2B D2 L2 F prime U2 L prime B2 D prime F prime D2 R prime U2 L prime. U prime. Okay, and now I will do this. Now into that insertion, into that piece, that oil, and PLL, which is a V perm. And we all hate V perms, but they'll pop up anyways. B2 L2 DU F2 U prime R2 B2 R2 D2 F2 B D prime FD B2 R prime B F2 R2 F2 U2. Okay, let's insert that. Okay, I got a corner twist into that insertion, into that insertion, that pure, that OL, and PL. That's how fast my EEPROMs get. Okay. How fast could I do this EEPROM without a corner? Okay, that's about how fast I could do it without a corner. Okay, white top, green front. L prime D F2 D2 R prime D2 B prime L D F2 L2 F2 R2 B2 U2 B D2 R2 D2 L2 F2. Okay. Okay, that is a pretty good scramble. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start. Okay, into that insertion, into the back, into that insertion, into that insertion, and kill. Okay, now I'm going to switch to 2x2, 3x3 to 2x2. White top, green front. R2 U prime, R2 U prime, R prime U2, R prime, do R prime U prime. Okay. I'll just do this somehow. And then that. 5 seconds. Turbo self. Okay. R2U, R2 F prime U, F prime U2 F. Oh. Wow. Okay, terrible solve, but I'm not going to delete that. Because I'm smart. That was a smart move. R, F, R prime. Okay. Now let's go quick. Insert that here, and PLL. Okay, it's 5:05, 5:06. Okay, my watch didn't really show inside the screen. I'm just gonna. Okay, F2 R2 F U prime F2 U2. R2 U2 R prime F U. Okay, into oil and PLL. F2 R prime F prime or F2 U prime F prime U. Okay, and then insert that. Corner twister impossible, and I twisted it the wrong way. What a crazy thing. Now we'll go on to everybody's favorite event. Can you guess what it is? It is clock. Okay, let's switch to clock. Okay, so you are... Oh yeah, they're all supposed to be down, so I'll just flip this. You are 4 prime. Down. U 2 minus. U 2 prime. And D 1 prime. L 4 prime. All 1, 2, 3. Y2 U R 1 minus 1 negative. DR 2. DR2. DL 2 minus negative 2. UL negative 5. R 2 prime. DR DL. Okay. So I found this trick out that if you have any 2 matching pieces, put them on the top, and then just start from there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Now into that insertion, and there. Okay, now that gets solved like that, into corners, that, and solved. 22.4 seconds. That is my second to best, I think. Okay. Okay. Let's switch to 4x4. I'll do one solve. And then I'm leaving if nobody starts watching. B U Y 2 U B F D 2 R U F wide prime D 2 F 2 R wide R 2 U wide prime U 2 L 2 R 2 U prime R U wide B 2 F wide 2 U wide B 2 U 2 U R wide 2 D prime U 2 L 2 R wide 2 F wide F 2 D 2 U wide 2 F D prime L R wide 2 U wide prime R wide 2 R prime U B F 2 U wide. Okay, so this is a pretty easy scramble because I have this piece over here ready, and then I could just insert that into the roof, which just gets inserted quick like that. Into inserting it like that. Into inserting that into there. Into that piece. Into that insertion. Into that insertion. Pair those two up. U prime. Insert that. And then insert that into there. Into this piece. Does that have anything to match to? Yes, it does. And that piece. Okay, flip this. And then I could do that. That last piece. Oh, I just messed that up. Where's that piece? Okay, here. No. Oh, I forgot to switch that into the white top, green front, red right. Now into that insertion into here, which just goes quick into that insertion there, that here, that piece, and PLL. And done. Okay, I'm gonna leave. And okay, and bye.